Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy, and I'm here with Jim Ziegler, and we are celebrating May as National Bike Month. And I've asked Jim to come on Hometown Happenings today to talk about his commuting to work. And we're trying to promote a healthier society. We've got people from the statewide health improvement plan in the area working on that very thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about commuting and why some of the benefits, not only environmental, but economic and health-wise as well. Jim, welcome to Hometown Happenings.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, first of all, I want to ask you, why did you start commuting?
Well, I rode bike for exercise and fun for quite a while before I started commuting, and generally I'd get up in the morning, go for a bike ride, then go home and get ready and go to work. And somewhere along the line I realized, well, you know, I could just ride to work and be there already. And where I work has a shower and stuff, so
perfect.
It worked out really well for me.
All right, so how many miles do you commute one way?
16.
Okay, so a 32-mile trip.
32-mile trip, yeah.
All right, so you get your exercise and you get your transportation all in one package.
Absolutely, and if for me it works out that when I commute in, just because of the fact that I'm already at work when I get done exercising, I actually can get up a little bit later when I ride bike in than getting up, riding bike, and then driving in.
Wow.
So, man, it works out good.
So, you know, we've heard, or I've heard that, you know, exercising before you go to work puts you in a better mind state. I mean, is that true? Do you have a clearer mind when you get to work, or? It
could be. Yeah, I've always been a morning person.
Okay.
And so, but I think, certainly I feel better when I exercise in the morning. And yeah, I'm sure it does help you, but I know for me, I do feel better, yeah.
All right. So roughly how many days a week do you commute, or times?
I only commute 2 or 3 days, depending on, you know, for my work I travel some, so those days don't work out. And I don't like rain much, so
that's why we're here today.
Exactly. So 2 to 3 days a week is what I try to do.
Okay. All right. And so 2 to 3 days a week, and now you've got a great bike to commute. Have you always used this particular type of bike?
Actually, no. When I started, I had what's I think called a cross bike. It's a much more upright type bike, heavier and a lot slower. And as I've gotten more into biking, I've just kind of, I think this is my third bike that I've actually used for commuting. So.
Okay, and we'll get more into the bike specifics after a little bit. But now when you commute, you're actually, what type of road do you travel on? I live on a gravel township road, and that's about 1.33 miles. And then the rest of the way is 2-lane paved highway. The last 5 miles has wide shoulders. Before that, there's no shoulders. So. Okay, so it's you know, you've got to be kind of pretty alert on your.
You do. I actually, a lot of bikers don't like to have mirrors on their bikes. When I'm riding, especially commuting, everybody's going to work. I just would not go without a mirror personally. I like to be able to see that the car behind me is moving over. Okay. I really do.
Yeah, sure. So. And especially, do you have many semis that go on that road, or many big trucks?
Yes, there's a gravel pit not far down from where I ride to, and so yeah, there's lots of gravel trucks and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And what are some of the other things that you know? Obviously, is it dark when you leave in the morning?
Generally, it's not, because I do ride sometimes when it's dark when I leave, but generally it's still pretty cold that time of the year, and so I don't commute much when it's still that cold. But I ride with a light on the back all the time. It's just a flashing red-orange light, just another thing to draw people's attention. And if it is dark, I have a headlight, and where it's kind of twilight, the headlight has a flash mode also, just to draw drivers' attention to the fact that you're there.
All right. So is there much traffic then? I mean, since you're leaving a little bit ahead of time, is it right in the main?
No, actually, I miss most of the traffic because I start work at 8. I like to be there at 7:30 so I can shower and be ready for work at 8. So my commute is about 50 to 60 minutes. So I'm usually leaving at 6:30, somewhere around there, and in town at my office by 7:30. So I miss most of the traffic. On the way home, however, is where I have most of the traffic, because You know, I'm done at 4:30, I change, and I'm out of the office by 4:45. Well, there's still a lot of traffic then for that part of it.
All right. So I'm here on Hometown Happenings today with Jim Ziegler. He is a bicycle commuter, and we're talking about this in lieu of May as Bike Month, National Bike Month, and we'll be back with more with Jim after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here with Jim Ziegler, bike commuter extraordinaire, and I've asked him to come on today for May's National Bike Month, and we're going to talk this half about the equipment. Now, Jim, obviously the bike.
Yes.
You need a bike.
Yeah, I have to have a bike.
Now, you've gone through a number of bikes, and why have you chosen this particular bike now?
I like this bike because it's lighter and therefore faster and easier.
Okay, and what makes it lighter?
So it's a carbon fiber frame bike, which is very stiff but light material for bikes.
And most bikes are what?
Steel is probably still the most common on the cheaper end of the bikes, and then aluminum is very popular, especially with a lot of people that are a little bit more into biking.
Okay. All right. So you chose this bike, and it makes it a little bit more streamlined. Hills are a lot easier.
Hills are much easier.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've got the bike, and now do you wear certain clothes when you commute?
I certainly do. I have always wear a bike jersey, and I want to show you my bike jersey. My son designed this one.
Okay.
He's a pilot,
excellent.
so they got the pilot on the back.
Okay.
I actually, not very many bikers wear this, but because it's so cold sometimes, raining, I actually have a pair of long pants that are designed specifically for biking.
Okay.
You can wear your biking shorts in the pants. So you still have the comfort of those, but I do like the...
Are those waterproof and windproof too?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yep. So if you get caught in the rain, these are good things to have. I wear biking gloves. One thing I didn't mention about the carbon fiber frame is the vibration is really pretty good.
Okay.
Aluminum bikes are very stiff and hard, a lot of vibration when you're going down the road. Biking gloves help a lot with they're padded in the palms.
Okay.
This is better for that, but I still wear the gloves all the time. I think a helmet is really important. I never ride without my helmet. Glasses, bugs in the eye, bright sunshine certainly, but bugs in the eyes are not much fun. Sand, gravel in the eye. I think if you're going to commute or ride any distance at all, having the pedals with the clips for the biking shoes are a tremendous advantage over just having regular pedals and tennis shoes or something like that.
Well, also toe clips are,
toe clips. Toe clips can work very well too. Yeah.
Right. In case people are afraid of clipping themselves in, that's always a fear factor.
Yeah, you do get very used to clipping out when you're stopping though. So that's. And then I also use a backpack. There's different ways of doing it. You can have packs that go on frames on your bike, but I just personally like a backpack for carrying the clothes for work. Towel, whatever I need. I carry my lunch usually too, so that works well.
All right, and you do have a shower at work, so that's very helpful too for workplaces.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, and one of the other things I wanted to ask you too, now that we've got some of the gear, you also have lights on your bike? I absolutely do.
There's lots of different kinds of lights out there. I like big bright lights. Primarily for people to see me, more so than for me to see. But I have a couple of examples. There's all kinds. This is just a tail light, goes on the back. They usually have different modes, so you can have on red, you can have flashing red. Headlights, same way. They can be on to help you see, or they can be flashing.
Okay.
So I usually have lights also. Yep.
All right. Okay, and then another safety issue is being seen by drivers. I mean,
exactly.
You do wear bright clothing, but some of the things, drivers are always concerned. Take from a driver's perspective, seeing a biker on the road, what should drivers do? I mean, you've been on the road commuting.
Right, and I would like to see drivers respond to bikers just like they respond to other slow traffic on the road. Recognize that it's there, slow down if it's not clear to pass, pass when it is clear to pass, move over. I think the law requires that you have at least 4 feet of separation between the bike and the car. I don't mind if they move over even more than that. It seems like people expect that everything will always work out fine, but if there is a problem, I like a little extra margin. But slow down, pass when it's clear, and move over when you do pass.
All right, Jim Ziegler, the local spokesman for biking. And that's going to wrap it up for Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy along with Jim Ziegler for CB3.